Hello and welcome to Yorkshire Voice on Tuesday the 31st of March. I'm Jack Young.
And I'm Kaylee Beardsley. Coming up on the programme.
Unemployment rates for young people in Yorkshire are the highest for a decade.
I was applying all over Leeds and I just couldn't get a job anywhere.
Is AI changing the creative industry and threatening jobs?
And Cliff Castle has been getting into the Easter spirit a little early with an egg hunt. But first, new figures have been released showing the number of unemployed young people in our region is at the highest for 10 years.
There are now more than 55,000 people aged 16 to 24 in Yorkshire and Humber who are not in work. That's 10% higher than the rate in any other age group.
In a moment, we'll be speaking to a graduate who's struggling to find a job, but the crisis is also worrying for teenagers who are still in education.
Before my brother got me a job, I was applying all over Leeds and I just couldn't get a job anywhere. So I feel like if you don't have connections, it's really hard to get a job. I work in this place called Flip Out in Seacroft and it's like a big play area and I'm a receptionist and a party host. I want to work in a primary school. I love working with kids, so yeah, that's my end goal.
We're now joined by Ewan Grant, a music graduate from Leeds Conservatoire. So Ewan, can you tell us a bit about your experience with the graduate job market?
Yeah, so I graduated Leeds Conservatoire in 2022, and so I spent the last 3 years trying to freelance basically in that industry and get all the experience that I can get. I've sold merch for bands on tour, I've been a promoter for shows, I've booked shows, I've sort of worked with artists on a management basis and just trying to bridge that gap and make that my full-time job now. It's just been really hard. I've been at it for about 3 years. I've applied to so many companies, BBC, UTA, CAA, and in some instances I've applied to the same job 3 or 4 times now, it's been that long. And you just get no feedback, so you don't know what you're missing, you can't bridge any gaps that might be missing. It's impossible.
Yeah, and what do you think the obstacles are for young people looking to gain employment?
Well, I think the feedback's a massive thing, because a lot of the time you don't know what the problems are. If it's a problem with you, your CV, your experience, and so you can't fix it. And I just don't think there are the jobs there to start with. I think what might have been 5, 6 jobs maybe 10 years ago is now 1 job, 2 jobs, and that's always going to make it hard to try and get into, especially when it's so who you know as well.
Mm-hmm. And do you have any advice quickly for people who are struggling at the moment to find a job?
I mean, I'm not in the best position, but what I would say is if you broadly know what you want to do, just try and get that experience where you can get it. So I've volunteered at festivals, for example, and through that, I've actually then been paid to do that.
Thank you very much, Ewan, for joining us.
No worries.
Thank you.
Well, our reporter Anne-Marie Lombard has been speaking to Leeds City College's careers advisor, Alice Clues.
Today, I'm joined by Alice Clues, but we're filming at Future Pathways, which is part of Leeds City College. Do you feel that, in general, it is harder to get a job these days in Yorkshire for young people?
I think so. So it's always been quite hard for young people, especially as we've had societal changes over the years, and young people getting into employment later because they're in education for longer. But there's a lot of barriers over cost of living. A lot are worried about leaving benefits because they're worried that they're not going to be better off. A lot of positions that are out at the moment are full-time and many of them can't access full-time employment. They can only access part-time. And there's a lot which are expecting experience, which they might not have, or qualifications that they would struggle to achieve, such as 4s at GCSE, which for a large majority of the young adult population might have. But there'll be those that aren't able to access that level of maths and English and won't be able to provide that, but are still perfectly capable of doing practical jobs and contributing. So, yeah.
That really sets it out clearly. That is all we've got time for, but you've given us a fantastic understanding of the difficulties facing young people in Yorkshire today. So thank you very much, Alice.
You're most welcome.
And it's back to the studio. Thank you.
Thanks, Anne-Marie. The Mayor of West Yorkshire is also tackling issues facing young people, including access to jobs.
A group of young adults have been showcasing innovative ideas to improve their communities. This is at the Big Ideas Challenge, a celebration event organised by Mayor Tracy Brabin.
We warn you that the following report contains some flickering images. Our reporter Jordan Lunn has more.
The Mayor's Big Ideas Challenge held its final showcase, bringing together young people to present ideas aimed at improving their communities. The Most Viable Idea Award was given to a project with the strongest potential for real-world impact. Innovation has been a key focus of this year's programme.
Innovation to me is all about improving products and processes to make things better. I think somebody famous once said, the only thing in life that's constant is change. So how we change things for the better is absolutely critical to how we make sure that we all live in the world we want to live in.
Contestants submitted video pitches and posters to showcase their ideas. Here's a preview of finalist Freya Webber's video pitch.
Hands-Free Cafe is piloting a phone-free cafe experience. Customers are asked to lock their phones away on arrival. No notifications, no scrolling, just people and time. It's not anti-technology, it's pro-attention.
A message from Tracy Brabin congratulated the finalists, praising their creativity.
You are all true Yorkshire innovators.
One winner explains her idea and its impact.
So my idea is the Kindness Kitchen. So it's a non-profit program teaching young people how to cook, but not just how to cook and how to follow a recipe, but also how to budget, how to meal plan, create a shopping list, how to use what's left in the kitchen, in the pantry, to build a meal without wasting food. So I think the impact it will have is giving people the tools that they'll need to be able to care for themselves, look after themselves, be healthy, and do it all on a budget, because so many of us are.
Each winner receives more than £600 in funding, helping bring their ideas to life and inspiring future innovators.
Now, another concern for young job hunters is the rise of artificial intelligence, and people in the creative industries are particularly worried.
In fact, the British Museum recently received criticism for its use of AI to generate photos of visitors instead of capturing genuine pictures. Josh Vickers has this report.
Generative AI is taking the world by storm, but the British Museum AI scandal has raised questions about the future of the creative industry. The Office for National Statistics estimate that there are over 110,000 creative jobs in West Yorkshire alone. But is AI going to change this? And how will it affect local creatives? Mark Taylor is the local landscape photographer.
The days of me carrying 100 rolls of film on a location is great that I don't have to do this. When we're talking of AI, it's not just the capturing of art now. It's not real, is it? And that's the shame, is, you're just bending the rules to make money.
Assembly House is an artist-led community organisation. Louisa Freitas and Dan Collins are two resident artists whose practice has been influenced by recent technological developments.
A conscious thing when I do my art to make it as human as possible. So, would you like an artificial smile? Would you like some artificial sunshine, perhaps? Artificial love, artificial wisdom. So why the hell are we going for artificial intelligence? Our intelligence is so amazing.
I work in illustration and 2D animation. I am creating a few artworks specifically against AI, where I'm designing freakish human hands to further emphasize the point that you should not use AI and you should support human artists. The process is the point. The sheer amount of job opportunities targeted to artists to create all sorts of traditional artwork to feed an AI algorithm. There are hundreds of companies paying you for you to put yourself out of your job. Everything else has a reason for being and has a need for it, but AI, it's a waste of time and resources.
Joe Maris has been a freelance scriptwriter on Emmerdale for almost a decade.
It's a worry, I suppose, if you're a scriptwriter, to think that you could put information into a machine or a software program and it could come back with something, and that would worry me to think, is that going to one day replace us lot? I'm hoping it'll be more of a benefit than a disadvantage, but I think I'm probably being optimistic.
For Yorkshire's creative community, generative AI is already changing how they work and whether they'll be able to make a living doing it in the future.
Now for the rest of today's news, here's Joe Pinner.
Thank you. 3 teenagers accused of stabbing a 16-year-old girl have appeared at Leeds Magistrates Court today. They're charged with the murder of Chloe Watson Dransfield, who was found unconscious in a street in Osthorpe just before 6 on Saturday morning. She was taken to hospital but was pronounced dead soon after. Those charged have been named as 18-year-old Kayla Smith and 19-year-old Archie Rycroft from Leeds, who appeared alongside a 17-year-old boy who cannot be named for legal reasons. They'll appear at Leeds Crown Court on Thursday. Jeff Burrow, the father of late Leeds Rhino star and motor neuron disease campaigner Rob Burrow, has died. During his life, Jeff supported the building of the Rob Burrow Centre for MND at Seacroft Hospital. Leeds Rhinos have paid tribute to his life, describing him as a tireless campaigner for those living with MND. And a former Sikh temple on Chapeltown Road could be turned into a gym. The Grade 2 listed building, which was originally built as a church and later used as a Gurdwara, has been left vacant for decades after a newer, bigger temple was built directly opposite. It comes after plans to convert the building into a dance studio were rejected by the council last year. Today marks Transgender Day of Visibility, an annual global day celebrating transgender, non-binary and gender non-conforming people, highlighting their achievements while also raising awareness of ongoing discrimination. New research suggests you might be paying more money for less chocolate this Easter. According to the consumer champion Which, shrinkflation means the price of popular chocolate eggs has risen by around 40%, despite them getting smaller on average each year. I guess that means more mini eggs all round. And that's the news wrap for today. Back to Jack and Kaylee.
Families in West Yorkshire have been getting into the Easter spirit a little early.
An egg hunt at Cliff Castle has been bringing people together ahead of the bank holiday weekend. Eve Ward reports.
Families have been hopping into the Easter spirit this weekend at Cliff Castle as its annual Easter egg hunt got underway.
We're celebrating Easter today, so it's Easter extravagance event in collaboration with Cliff Castle support group, and we have different activities around Cliff Castle Park and inside of the museum. We have also Easter egg trail. They need to find all eggs and to find out what is written on them, what message we have hidden there. And of course, we are expecting Easter Bunny to come soon. Yeah, some really nice introduction to Easter.
Visitors have been getting creative, making their own Easter baskets and decorating eggs as part of the day's activities.
We came straight away at 11 a.m. Still we there. Maybe we stay until finish.
Families have been searching the grounds for 11 brightly painted eggs, each marked with a letter to spell the hidden word.
Yeah, we've had a lovely day. We've been outside, had a look around the grounds, got our little letters, and then we went inside and looked around the museum, got the other letters for the Easter egg hunt, and then you've had a good day, haven't you?
The Easter Bunny also made an appearance.
It's been fabulous. We've had 3 generations, granny, mummy and 2 grandchildren, and they've been running like mad, running some energy off. Lunch in the cafe, and we're just going back into the museum now to finish off the day.
A cracking day out for families and plenty of Easter cheer at Cliff Castle. Eve Ward, Yorkshire Voice.
Now it's time to find out what the weather's doing. Let's join Malcolm Ring, who should be enjoying the gorgeous sun out there. How's the weather, Malcolm?
Hi, Kaylee. Yes, the weather's much nicer today. It was a little bit rainy over the weekend, but British summertime has started officially. It is coming a little bit mild, but overall sunny today. Throughout the Yorkshire region this week, though, there is probably going to be a mix of rain and sunny spells. Today, highs have been 14 degrees here in Leeds and in Sheffield, and 15 degrees in Hull and York, which will drop down to lows of 8 to 9 degrees later on in the evening. Leeds is expecting no rain for the rest of the day, and Yorkshire as a whole will be experiencing moderate to light winds throughout the rest of the week. Tomorrow will be more overcast, but there will still be high levels of pollen.
And that's all we have time for today. Thank you for joining us.
If you want to hear more, follow our socials. Goodbye.
Goodbye.